Have you ever gotten a raise or a new, higher-paying job and thought, "This is it. I'm finally going to get ahead financially," only to find yourself in the exact same spot a year later, just with more expensive stuff? It's a frustratingly common story. You're working harder, you're earning more, but your bank account just doesn't seem to reflect it. It feels like you're running on a financial treadmill, putting in all the effort but going nowhere. So, what's really going on? Why do so many of us remain financially stagnant, even as our income climbs? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden traps that keep people from building real wealth, and more importantly, what you can do to finally break free. The biggest and most common culprit is something called lifestyle creep, or lifestyle inflation. It's a subtle but powerful force. It starts innocently enough. You get that pay bump, and you think, "I deserve a little something." Maybe it's a new phone you've been eyeing. Or you start eating out at nicer restaurants more often. You upgrade your apartment to a bigger one in a better neighborhood. You finally buy that new car you've been dreaming of, complete with a monthly payment. Each individual purchase feels justified. You're earning more, so you can afford more, right? The problem is, it rarely stops at just one thing. Before you know it, your spending has automatically risen to match, or even exceed, your new income. That extra money that was supposed to go towards savings or investments is now completely absorbed by your new, more expensive lifestyle. You've upgraded your life, but you haven't upgraded your financial security. You're just living a more expensive version of being broke. It's a trap because it feels normal. Society tells us that when you earn more, you should spend more. But this is the number one reason why people stay stuck, no matter how much their paycheck grows. Another major roadblock is a sheer lack of financial literacy. This isn't about being bad at math. It's about not understanding the basic rules of the money game. Our schools often fail to teach us practical financial skills. We learn about history and science, but not about budgeting, how taxes really work, or the dangers of compound interest when it's working against you. So, we enter the adult world unprepared. We might think a budget is just about restricting our fun, rather than seeing it as a powerful tool to direct our money where we want it to go. We might not understand how much of our raise will actually disappear to taxes, leading us to overestimate our take-home pay. We get offered a credit card with a high limit and see it as free money, not as a high-interest loan that can quickly spiral out of control. Without a solid foundation of financial knowledge, we're essentially flying blind. We make decisions based on emotion, advertising, or what our friends are doing, instead of making informed choices that align with our long-term goals. Earning more money without knowing how to manage it is like trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. The water just keeps leaking out. This leads us directly into the next trap, the debt trap. In a world that runs on credit, it's incredibly easy to fall into this. Lenders are more than happy to give you a loan for a new car or a mortgage for a house. They'll tell you the maximum amount you're approved for. But approved for and can comfortably afford are two very different things. Many people take this maximum approval as a target. They buy the most expensive house they can get a mortgage for and finance the most expensive car they can get a loan for. They max out their credit cards to furnish that house and keep up with their new lifestyle. Suddenly, a huge chunk of their monthly income is gone before they even see it. Straight to debt payments. They are now house rich and car rich, but cash poor. They are living on the edge, with very little buffer for emergencies. What happens if the car needs a major repair, or the water heater breaks? It goes on a credit card, adding to the mountain of debt. This cycle of borrowing to maintain a lifestyle you can't truly afford on your cash flow is a powerful trap. that keeps millions of people working just to pay off their past. They aren't building wealth for the future. They're constantly trying to pay for the choices of yesterday. The fourth major issue is relying on a single income stream. For most of us, this is our job. We trade our time for a paycheck, and that's it. This feels safe and stable, but in reality, it's incredibly risky. Think about it. You are one layoff, one illness, or one corporate restructuring away from your entire financial world collapsing. No matter how secure your job feels today, nothing is guaranteed. When your entire financial well-being is tied to one employer, you give them all the power. You can't afford to take risks, negotiate aggressively for a raise, or leave a toxic work environment because you are completely dependent on that single paycheck. It keeps you stuck. Diversifying your income is just as important as diversifying your investments. People who build true wealth almost always have multiple streams of income. It could be a side hustle, rental property income, dividend stocks, or royalties from a creative project. Having multiple sources of money flowing in creates a safety net. If one stream dries up, you have others to rely on. It gives you freedom, security, and the ability to take calculated risks that can massively accelerate your wealth-building journey. Relying on one salary is like standing on a one-legged stool. It might hold you up for a while, but it's inherently unstable. So, we've identified the problems: lifestyle creep, a lack of financial knowledge, the debt trap, and single-stream income. It sounds a bit grim, but here's the good news. There is a clear, actionable solution, and it's simpler than you might think. The core principle is this: when your income increases, you must consciously decide to keep your expenses the same, or as close to the same as possible. This is the opposite of lifestyle creep. Instead of asking how much more can I spend, you ask how much more can I save and invest. Imagine you get a $500 a month raise. The default reaction is to find a new $500 monthly expense. The wealth-building reaction is to pretend that raise never happened. You continue living on your old budget and automatically transfer that extra $500 every single month into a savings or investment account. This one disciplined act creates a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where wealth is built. This is where you prioritize your future self over your present desires. Instead of the new luxury car, you keep driving your reliable old one and invest the difference. Instead of the bigger apartment, you stay where you are and use the savings to build a down payment for a property you can actually afford. It's about making a conscious choice to prioritize financial freedom over flashy possessions. Use that extra income to aggressively pay down high-interest debt. Build a robust emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses, and then start investing consistently. You don't need to be an expert stock picker. Simple, low-cost index funds are a fantastic way for most people to start building wealth over time. The goal is to get your money working for you, so you're not the only one working for your money. By automating your savings and investments, you take the emotion out of it and make building wealth your new default. It's a mindset shift from short-term gratification to long-term freedom. And let me tell you, the peace of mind that comes from having a financial safety net is a greater luxury than any designer bag or expensive car could ever provide. It's the freedom to make choices not based on financial desperation, but on what you truly want for your life. That is the ultimate goal. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on how to take control of your financial future. Let me know in the comments which of these traps you found yourself in. You're definitely not alone. See you in the next video.